Well, welcome back. How you going? I've been good. I've come with more information. Whoa, what just happened there? Did the video just miraculously switch to DCI 4K? Yes, it did. I did finally get the money to move to 4K once again. I only made a couple of videos in 1080p. I was thinking that I was going to have to wait months, but luckily I was able to save up enough money to get the Atomus Shogun, which is an incredible device. I will say it definitely does it live up to the amount of money I paid? Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it will, in the sense that I will be shooting a lot of different events with it. Will it live up to the hype for my own YouTube videos? Not really. When you consider the fact that YouTube nukes my bitrate and takes the quality of my videos from stunning to still stunning but not as good, it's not as good. But there is also another upgrade that the Shogun brings, and that is RAW. This is the first video that you are ever seeing on this channel that was filmed in ProRes RAW HQ, which is a monumental increase for me. So to recap, the FS700R, which is what I'm shooting with right now, can shoot into 12-bit DCI 4K RAW, which is an amazing format to work in. That being said, you do need a RAW-enabled recorder. Most cameras, when they come out, they say, yeah, we can do 4K and RAW. And usually if they say that, they mean that they can either do that through a HDMI cord for more modern cameras, although cameras of this caliber usually use SDI links. And I have a video coming on this very soon. It'll go more into detail about what SDI is and why the FS700R can use a single SDI link to push out this insane amount of data to the external recorder. So let's not go too much into that. Just know that this is in ProRes RAW, which gives me a lot of extra functionality in post. It means that I can change the exposure, the white balance that it was shot at, I can change the tint, and it doesn't destroy the codec, which it would if I shot into H.264 or even intermediary codecs like DNxHR or ProRes. Now, there was one other thing that I did want to talk about, and that is my PC. I redid my PC back in last year, midway through, maybe around August, and I built it with a Ryzen 3700X, 32 gigs of RAM, RTX 2060. It was really built for creative applications, but with a little bit of gaming on the side. Then this year, I changed out the motherboard, RAM, and CPU to an 8700K, 64 gigs of RAM, and an ASUS motherboard. Why did I do this? Well, I moved to macOS. I haven't really got around to making that video yet, but with this camera, I was waiting until I got the quality increase, so now I guess I do. But with that jump meant that I could do a whole lot more, and my computer can now handle the 4K data rates that were coming out of the GH4 properly. I'm not saying that the 3700X couldn't, but definitely my computer before then was not able to handle it too well. But now we hit the wall. Can my computer handle ProRes RAW? Yes, it can. Can handle ProRes RAW fine. macOS is built to handle that. I've tried it in Premiere and it's very good. I've tried it in Final Cut Pro and it works even better because obviously Apple made program, Apple made codec, they kind of work together. But there is another format that the recorder can record into, and that's Cinema DNG. So on the set of movies, they don't record into ProRes or DNxHR, they record into Cinema DNG. It's one of the most widely used cinema codecs. That's why it's got cinema in the name, I guess. But it does come with a penalty. You have to have an absolute workhorse of a computer in order to sustain the data rates that are coming off of this. Now, I did try and edit some Cinema DNG footage that came out of the FS700R and through the Shogun, and unfortunately my computer just wasn't able to do it. With the smallest amount of color correction at full resolution, my computer grinded to a halt. Even at quarter resolution, the computer was still dropping frames here and there. At my level, the idea of editing Cinema DNG is just not a reality. I can't edit it right now. And why I would want to shoot into Cinema DNG, I have no idea. Yes, it is higher quality than ProRes. But are you going to notice it? Really? Like, when I upload this video to YouTube, are you actually going to notice a tangible, real-life difference between the footage that Cinema DNG pumps out and the footage that ProRes pumps out? And the answer is no. The story is a little bit different to the way I presented it here. Let's get some things right. First of all, ProRes RAW and Cinema DNG, two very similar codecs that you can record into on the Otomo Shogun, but they're not 100% equal. At the current stage, Cinema DNG is the better option, and if you can, you should shoot into Cinema DNG if you're looking for like the craziest of crazy. You know, ProRes is up there, but Cinema DNG is just that little bit higher due to the extra bitrate that it can get out and due to the extra amount of information it can capture. For example, currently with ProRes RAW, I can edit the ISO of the footage and not too much else. That being said, it is an extremely flexible codec and allows me to change a whole lot of stuff without too much distortion or aberrations appearing or too much noise in the image going crazy and everything like that. Cinema DNG is a little bit higher. It offers me to change my exposure, my white balance, and my tint, all from the master settings, which means that I can have a little bit more control over the amount of light that's on the image, and it is a little bit easier to work with in post when you think about coloring it, not running it in your choice of NLE. So is ProRes RAW better than Cinema DNG, or is Cinema DNG better? Well, the reality of the situation is, what are you using it for? If you are like me, ProRes RAW is probably going to be better because you've got smaller file sizes for more or less the same quality when you're uploading to online content sources, and you're not showing it on a movie screen that's got like one-to-one color recreation. If you're shooting a film in Hollywood, you should 100% go for Cinema DNG because you obviously don't have a storage budget. You're not at a loss with that, so why not shoot the higher format? I also thought it was very interesting. I've been working on this video for a couple of days now after getting the ProRes RAW footage. RAW is great, fantastic. I didn't think it would be this large. I thought it would be. I actually thought it would be larger, but it's very easy to work with on Final Cut Pro, and I think I'm probably going to have to switch to it. That being said, being able to match non-HDR clips with HDR clips, especially screen recordings and things like screenshots and stuff, it's very hard to do. So am I going to continue to use RAW as a format in the future for my videos? Maybe. Am I probably going to switch back to SDR so that I can screenshot things and stuff like that? Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to see how it goes. I'll have to see how this video actually looks when it gets uploaded to YouTube, because it may be a little bit different to what I'm seeing in Final Cut. So what does this upgrade to the Shogun actually mean for this YouTube channel? It means I can shoot in 4K again. It means I'll get smoother shots. It means I could do a whole video in 60 FPS. Doesn't really mean too much else. When you film into 12-bit and upload to YouTube, sometimes you can upload HDR videos. You need a specific HDR workflow. I can now achieve that. The monitor is HDR capable. It can output HDR signal. Premiere is dog shit. Maybe the video came out before this, but you should go watch that. It talks about HDR and wide dynamic range projects in Premiere and Final Cut. Just go watch that. It's a little bit more in depth. My point being, shooting into 12-bit RAW makes no perceivable difference when you upload to YouTube. It does make a difference when you watch the local file. That's it. That's really all I wanted to say. I have a lot of new toys, and with new toys comes the responsibility to make very good videos. So I am currently working on, obviously, you know how I did the video, the first impressions, and then the review of the Ninja. I'm going to do the same thing with the Shogun. Every time I say I've got videos planned, I feel bad when I actually don't act on those videos. I have one on all the lenses that I'm using right now because I want to talk more about vintage lenses and what they mean and whether you should actually invest into them. And then I've got a video on macOS and switching to the Apple ecosystem. I've just got so many ideas for videos that this can now unlock the pure potential of what I've always wanted to do. So that's all I wanted to get at. Thanks for watching this video. I promise new content will be coming soon. I am editing more and filming more than ever before. I'm super excited to shoot with this equipment, to make videos with this, because it genuinely is as if I'm shooting a movie, which is so cool. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.